Hello, YouTube. Repo Man 64. How's everybody? Getting excited. There's news about Israel and what they're talking about doing on what they consider to be Purim. Go through this. I'm going to go through this timeline again. A couple of people made some really interesting videos on this timeline that it appears to be correct, but who knows? For me, Purim has already passed 2 weeks ago, but the world is looking at March 16th as Purim, the beginning of Purim, which for me, Happy New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, March 17th, we're like right there. As a matter of fact, by the time I upload this video, here in Eastern Time, it will be about 3 hours from the New Year's Eve. In Israel, at 5:45 in the morning on March the 16th, they will see that fourth star of Pegasus skirting along the horizon. That's how they know that is the last Sabbath of the year. I spoke with, and I'll give you her YouTube here in a second about this. I'm going to try to articulate this the best I can. I want you to remember a few months back how we were looking at the Kaduri and Shoshone prophecies, and how when they went what we considered past, that we just kind of brushed them under the rug. Now, how did this guy know that there'd be two Benjamins and that neither one of them would succeed, and that the Sabbath after the new government was to take over, that Jesus would be here? And I want to show you something that I found, and I'm not 100% sure that it is accurate, but to all the other YouTubers out there that watch these videos, see if I'm onto something here. This caught my attention, and I thought it was really cool, so I wanted to bring it to you. All right. Remember here. Let me go up, because I noticed when I watch my video, you can't really see the bottom very well. Actual New Year's Eve, Adar 31, March 16th. This is the final Sabbath of the year. This Sabbath is the Sabbath that marks all future Sabbaths. There is a day at a time, which is how we have 365 days in the year. Remember, Enoch walked the earth for 365 years, and then he was not, for God took him. Enoch, the books of Enoch, I'm not promoting or pushing them in any kind of way, aside from the fact that Enoch was taken to the seventh heaven and was allowed to see time from God's perspective. When we look up at the stars, everything is running counterclockwise. To God, it's running clockwise. And this unique perspective that Enoch got to see, he reports on it, and our Bible says, is it not written in the book of Jubilees, in the book of Jasher, and of course we have Enoch being quoted in Jude, so these are books to look at. They don't belong in the Bible. I never said that. I don't believe that. But they are books to look at. So, actual New Year's Day, Nisan 1, March 17th. I've been saying you cannot figure out these feast days unless you know the first day of the year. Now, there's a lot of different ways that people are getting there. Some of them are using the equinox, but it varies. This particular event here, that the fourth star Pegasus skirting along the horizon, doesn't vary. It happens every year on March 16th at 5:45 in the morning. It would be a better time marker or a better beginning than anything else. Of course, I don't follow the moon. Enoch warns about following the moon, that there will be 10 days off because the moon is not in sync anymore like it used to be. It's out of sync. So starting your year on the moon. Now, there are some passages in Leviticus that describe this, so I'm not throwing it out. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I'm not saying that this is how we have to do it. The way I'm looking at it, I'm not saying that 100% at all. I'm just saying that this is the most solid one. This is more solid than the Gregorian calendar. This calendar never changes. New Year's Day will always has been, always will be on March 17th. There are those that will follow the moon. And the moon, I don't even remember how they do it. At some point, if it's closest to the equinox, that's the beginning of the year, or after the equinox, they have to move a whole month or something. I'm not sure how that works. It seems to me like everything would be off base with that. But again, I'm not an expert on that. There are those that start the year on a Wednesday, which there is no Wednesday in the Bible. There is the fourth day. And the fourth day is always the day God created time. And on that fourth day will always be Nisan 1, March 17th. It doesn't matter what we name it. The fourth day is always the day of time, the creation of time. This is when time started. Day one would be March 17th. The time was started on Adar 31, March 16th. So I wanted to introduce you to a couple of people here. Let's see here. Somebody noticed this. Oh, this is Steve Fletcher. He noticed that the sunrise and sunset, which I'll have to go look at that on my time and date. Don't believe the sun rises on. Well, actually, I'm wrong. It would be the day of equal parts. So March 16th would be the day of equal parts. So yeah, Steve is right here. Now the beginning of the year is 5:45 a.m. on March 16th, but now he's calling for Purim, which I believe Purim passed 2 weeks ago. But again, I'm not sticking to that 110%. I believe it's correct. All indications point to that it is correct. But anyway, Steve Fletcher found this. I thought that was pretty cool. 726. Let's see. Previous events on Peter. These are things that Steve Fletcher brought up. Is it Steve Fletcher or Isaiah 53? I think this was Steve Fletcher still. These are things that happened on Purim. 1942, 10 Jews were hanged in Zadunska, Walla, and the average to avenge the hanging of the Haman's 10 sons. In a similar incident in 1943, the Nazis shot 10 Jews from the I lost that here. Ghetto. So anyway, a lot of things happen on Purim, so that's why I'm not saying that Purim. I mean, I'm saying that Purim is fast, but I'm not saying that Purim is not on the 16th. But Purim must happen 30 days before the cross. It must happen 30 days before the cross. So I still believe that it is past, and I think the event that everyone's looking at, honestly, was the day that Lazarus died on March 16th. And March 16th would not be Purim. It would be the day of equal parts, the day that Lazarus died. This is Isaiah 53. He has a YouTube. He's actually began looking at this, and he's seen so many things. He's correct here that the day of equal parts does not happen on the equinox. It does happen on the equilux, which is March 16th, not March 20th. So I'd go see his YouTube. He does a very good job over there. Israel 365, of course. He knows a lot of inside information, and they're threatening a holy war on Purim on the Temple Mount. I would reword this and say they're threatening a holy war on the Temple Mount on the day of equal parts, the day Lazarus died. Oh, look at that. It's my orange tree. It's blooming. It's time. All right, so this is Ecru Symphony. Sorry, I have a hard time saying that. Ecru Symphony. She has a YouTube called Ecru Symphony, and she just did a really good video. It's amazing how and she said the same thing. When I applied everything to this timeline that Enoch has given us, when she did a video, you got to go watch her last video. She does a very good job. She has found What she does, from the best I can tell from what she does, is she actually finds mirror images. If it was 1,335 days from one incident, she goes to a point in time on the Enoch timeline, and it goes 1,335 days, and it's amazing how she has shown things to line up. And so I would go watch her YouTube as well. Ecru Symphony. Let's see here. Okay, so I wanted to start at the beginning here where I started. All right, here we go. This is the point and the reason I'm making the video. The 36th government of Israel, or Bennett Lapid government, is the cabinet of Israel, formed on the 13th of June 2021, after the 2021 Israeli legislative election. All right, here. And this is where I want to take a look at this, because we've kind of given up on Kaduri. How could we give up on Kaduri when he knew that there'd be two Benjamins, or Shoshani, actually, I think he said that. But they were working together, or they knew each other at some point, and they prophesied all these things before they happened. So how is he right on some cases and not right on the others? And we've kind of brushed it on the rug and stopped talking about it, but this is what I wanted to make a video today of, and I asked Ecru, oh my goodness, the lady that just did her video, Ecru Crumps, I'm not even going to remember how to say that, but I showed it to you. Go to her YouTube, and I asked her to do a YouTube video on this. She's like, ugh, that's a difficult one. So I'm going to attempt to do it here today. There will come a day, there will come on the day that two ministers win the government in the land of Israel. It did happen, didn't it? Now, he wrote this long before it happened. Long before it happened. Both their names will be Benjamin. What? How did he know that? And neither of them will succeed in establishing their government. Ancient history, we already know that. On that day, know and understand that the King Messiah already stands at the doorway, and on the Sabbath afterwards, he will come and be revealed. Now, Shoshani, or I believe Kaduri, has recognized Jesus as the Messiah. I believe he mentions this in one of his letters, that Jesus is actually Messiah, and he knew his name. And I thought that was pretty cool. Similar things were also written by Rabbi Kaduri's learning companion, Rabbi Menachem Menashe. Wow. The author of Ahavat Chaim, who wrote in the name of Rabbi Shoshani on the weekly Torah reading of Kai Tavo, the Torah portion that we read on the last Sabbath about what will be the end of days on the last Sabbath. Now, the Jews are still looking at September. These guys have been disobeying God for a very long time. That's why they're in trouble. That's why we have been chosen over the Jews. And the reason we were chosen over the Jews is because of their stiff neck. They're hard-headed. They would not accept Jesus. They crucified him. They have spent the last 2,000 years not accepting Jesus. And in spite of that, God still brought them back into their land almost 2,000 years later. God loves the Jews. We would pray for the Jews. We need to pray for the Jews every day to come to understanding. These are God's people, and God loves them very much, and we need to pray for them to come to believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. He is the Lord and Savior. He is the one. Maybe this will help. Whoa, that's bright. He's the one that came here 2,000 years ago, died on a cross, and paid for the sins of all mankind, and he wants the Jew. And it's still bright. There. And he really wants the Jew to come into the fold. But notice what they said. The Sabbath after. The last Sabbath is March 16th. The Jews read the Torah portions in September, what they still consider the head of the year. They are wrong. God told Moses, this now will be the head of your year. Why are they not obeying that? There's a lot of things they're not obeying. The head of the year is in March. In the constellation, let me get rid of this here. There are 3 stars, Markab, Sheet, Alganib, in the constellation we now call Pegasus, that were called the stars of Yah the Father by the Sumerians. And these 3 stars brought in the new year. The ancient Sumerian texts say that the sun equalizes the year on the 30th day of the solar month and also on the 31st day of the solar month. Now remember, there's 30 days each month, and then there's a extra day added to each month, giving us 364 days a year. If you studied Enoch a little bit, that's exactly what you would learn. Solar month, which is the season change day, and the star Alganib sweeps along the sun's path just before sunrise on New Year's Day, March 17th. Right here. Thus, every new year, on the day the sun equalized the day and night, a dark concealed moon will rise with the sun in the horizon. And this event, now remember, the moon is out of whack. It's not going around every 30 days like it used to. It's going around every, 28 and a half, 29 and a half days. So it's only accurate every 19 years. Right? Amazingly, this is exactly what we see on March 16th and 17th during the 19th moon cycle. So it only happens every 19 years. Here are the Kaduri prophecies. On the eve of the year 5780, the year of correction, there will not be a government in Israel for an extended period of time. The various camps will quarrel much without a decision on either side, and then the Rosh Hashanah itself. They will fight in heaven, the holy side against the side of evil, and God and his entourage will decide between them. And this is all I can say, and from here I swore not to reveal more secrets and hidden things. That's Kaduri. In 1979 he wrote that. So remember, June 13th of 2021, remember that, June 13th of 2021. What would be the final Sabbath? The final Sabbath would not be in September. It would be March 16th. That is the Sabbath that they are supposed to be reading from the Torah portions. They're not supposed to be reading it in September. We go forward here. Just some more information on, this is out of the, I think this is out of the book of Enoch. On the 30th day of the 12th solar month, only 3 stars of constellation Pegasus appear just before sunrise on the eastern horizon, and the night, the moon is barely lit, waning crescent in the 12th month, 3rd portal. The 31st day of the 12th month, the 4 stars of the constellation Pegasus, forming a square, appear just before sunrise on the eastern horizon. So they go into explaining this in the book of Jubilees, in the book of Enoch. Many books are explaining this over and over again. And there was a point in time where the Jews knew this. This was what they knew. They knew that the first day of the year, according to Moses, was going to happen on March 17th. Here it is again, the square of Pegasus. You see that 4 star down at the bottom, just skirting along the horizon. This happens every year on March 16th at 5:45 in the morning, just before sunrise. That's how they knew that was the last day of the year. The first day of the year, the star begins to rise higher and higher. The 4th star, well, all the 4 stars of Pegasus, the constellation, begins to rise every day from that point forward. All right. The Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Now, when we read this, you can see very clearly that God changed it. God changed it from September. So why are we calling September the beginning of the year still when it's actually in March? Because the Jews are not listening to God. My interpretation is, ecrocrumpsy. There you go. All right, I showed you all that. So, very quickly, short video. It's now 3 hours before New Year's Eve in Israel. We will see that fourth star skirting along the horizon, the fourth star Pegasus. It's too much information. I set out on this a long time ago. Lost a few friends over the issue that I wish hadn't happened, but I had to figure out what the first day of the year was. I don't believe it dances around with the moon. I don't believe it's the first Wednesday closest to the equinox because there's no Wednesday. I don't believe it's on the equinox. I think that's silly. It's not the day of equal parts. It's not the day God created time. God created time on the fourth day. This day is the day where everything begins. March 17th is day one. From all that I can understand, something big, in my opinion, is about to happen on what they're calling Purim, on what we're calling New Year's Eve in Israel, March 16th, right around the corner. I'm not going to call a rapture date. There's too many good days in here that point to a rapture time. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, March 16th, March 17th. Lazarus dies on New Year's Eve, but he was raised on the equinox on March 20th, 4 days later. That's a good rapture scenario. There is a meal that is eaten with Lazarus, the dead in Christ, Mary, the bride, Martha, the weary worker, while she works to get the meal prepared, upset because her sister's not helping. That happens on March 26th, 10 days from now. That's a good rapture scenario. For me, the best rapture scenario is April 2nd. This is the day that Jesus rose from the grave. There was a great earthquake, and many people that had died had risen from the grave at the same time as Jesus, and the Bible records that they walked into the holy city. That's a very good rapture day event that lines up with everything we need to see. We need to see the dead in Christ rising, for they rise first. We need to see the bride rising, where Jesus is. We're in Jesus, and when he paid the penalty and he said on the cross, "It is finished," it was finished. And what did he do first? He went to Hades. He went down there for 3 days to lead captivity captive, and he brought them out. And when he rose, they rose. He brought them out of down there, and those people walked into the city representing heaven. It's the best rapture scenario. And then after that, we're looking at Thomas in the upper room, which is April the 9th. We're looking at second Passover, which is April the 29th. And then, if the year does start on the equinox, which I don't think it does, but if it does, everything I've said is 4 days later after what I've said it is. If it happens on I think they call it the Jewish calendar or creation calendar, I'm not sure. That one's landing 2 weeks after me. Or is it the Jewish calendar? I'm not sure. They're landing exactly 2 weeks after me. And so everything I've said would happen 2 weeks later, which, again, to me, makes no sense. I can't see it. So the most important thing is that we're watching, and we're trying to figure this out. And I've got to tell you, a lot of you are absolutely amazing in the comment section, and so many of you have pointed some things out, and I really appreciate that. That's super important that we work together. It's not me against the world. It's all of us together against them. Or, you know what I'm saying? We're all here to help each other and say, hey, what about this? What about that? And I get all the comments, and I try to, give a heart to as many as I can, or try to give a comment if I can. If I don't have time, I apologize. Man, I've been so busy. It's been weird. This past month has been crazy for me. I haven't had time to do anything like I used to. But I wanted to get this video out today because it's almost New Year's Eve. If something happens huge in Israel, would that represent Lazarus dying in the tomb? I don't know. A lot of things to look at. I'm not calling a rapture date, but I do like April the 2nd the best. I do like March 26th, and I do like March 16th. So there's three dates that kind of stand out to me, but Amos 3:7, I'll say it 100 times. God is not going to tell me to tell you. We're going to all try to search this out, figure it out together. At the end of the day, an angel is going to appear at the foot of your bed and tell you, just like an angel appeared to Mary, said that you're going to be with child, appears to, now I'm going to forget Mary's husband's name. Why am I doing that? I'm getting old and forgetful. Joseph, there you go. Joseph. Appeared to Joseph. Angels have been appearing to people, warning them of major events that are coming for quite some time. And believe that that's what's going to happen to the bride, the watchful ones, the ones that are prepared for that, angel to appear to warn them that this is about to take place. It's going to be a very calm, very happy moment. Your heart is not going to elevate, and you're not going to get scared or nervous. You're going to be like a relief, a woo-saw moment. You're going to be totally calm when it happens. And this angel is going to tell you, in one way or another, you're going to know the date because Amos 3:7 said so. It said so. Revelations 3:3 promises that if you watch, you will know. And I think that there's going to be some kind of a warning just in advance. How long is that warning? I've heard a lot of good arguments about 3 days, 7 days, 10 days. I don't know. Not an expert myself. I'm just giving you anything I know to maybe perhaps help somebody else along the way to put something together for what they know. Everything in my videos, I got asked, can I use that in my video? Yes, you can use. This is not me. None of this is mine. I didn't create the Day of Equal Time. Yes, you can use whatever you want in your videos. And if you find something, please make a video on it and let me know so I can go watch it, and let me know so I can tell other people to go watch it. Like I said, you got to go watch those two people that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It's very important. They did a really good video. We're out of time. This is serious. You're hearing it from all the watchmen. I don't know a single watchman out there that's not telling you you're out of time. We've been looking at this for a long time, and the mockers and scoffers have come and gone. The silliness, the silly comments that people think that they're so cute with, they're going to get woke up with quite a surprise. There's going to be a whole group of people missing off the face of the earth, and then the lie will begin. There's going to be a huge lie given to you about what happened to us. So we're out of time. There is no more joking around, no more play. If you don't believe this whatsoever, if you think it's silly, oh, we've heard this for so long, you're just fulfilling a prophecy. Where's the promise of his coming? Where's that promise? We've been hearing that for 2,000 years. Where is it? And I'm not promising anything right now, but if you look around you, a war on March the 16th, that's tomorrow. Like that's now in Israel, So keep your eyes open, people. Things are about to get accelerated. Things are about to come to get real here very soon. And there's a little mention in The Legend of the Jews. It's a book called The Legend of the Jews. I would suggest anybody read it. It's not supposed to be part of the Bible now. But there's a comment in there where Noah was in the ark, and outside the ark they were banging on the ark, let us in. And he's like, really? Now you want in, now that you see this is real. I've been warning you for 120 years, and now that it started raining for the first time in human history, the water was coming up from the ground to water the plants. It never fell from the sky. and now you want inside of this ark. And it was a little exchange that you can read in the Legend of the Jews, and I thought it was pretty cool that that moment exists, and that moment is going to exist again. We're going to be gone, and there's going to be so many very religious people that are going to drop to their knees and go, "What? Why? I ran a church. I was up there talking about you. I didn't believe any of this rapture stuff. I thought it was another 2,000 years away. I didn't know. How come I'm in trouble?" Watchers are going to watch. Now, my prayer after that is for the sleepy church and for the Jew, that you wake up. Don't believe the lie. There is a lie coming about what happened to us and where we went. The main one's going to be that God cleared us out of here because we were intolerant. We were an intolerant group of people. We wouldn't accept all the lying and deceit and the child this and porn that. We wouldn't do any of that stuff. You know, we have no parts in any of that kind of stuff. And we're just in the way of human evolution. Humans are going to evolve so far beyond, and they're in for a rude awakening. Don't believe that lie. I'll be praying for you that if you are stuck here, that you come to a realization, and then now you do what we've been doing for almost 2,000 years. Try to figure out when the second coming is. Try to figure it out, because that's what you need to do. People are telling me that they're going to pull down all these videos. I don't think so. I don't think so. We give too much credit to Satan, thinking he's way smarter than what he actually is, and he's not that smart. He's not omnipotent. He can't hear me right now. The only thing he can hear is this video. God can hear me right now. God is omnipotent. He's everywhere, always, all the time, everywhere. He hears every breath, every thought. You don't even have to speak it. He knows what you're thinking. That's God. That's the God I serve. The Satan that some people serve, are you? I can't even put that into words. The guy has nothing. He has nothing. He's already lost the fight. He's not going to win. It's over with for him. But there are those, and that's your lot. That's what you want to do. But anyway, go to a quiet place. You're out of time. Go to a quiet place by yourself. Nobody needs to know. You don't need to tell anybody. And accept the Lord into your heart. Private moment that you have with no one else around you. You and your Creator. Ask Him into your heart and watch the change take place. And then go tell everyone. Remember, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if we fly tomorrow, I won't make any more videos. I am done. And I pray that the people who are left will get to see these videos, and they can start working on timelines when this is going to take place for them. Hang in there. We'll be up there praying for you. RepoMan64, we'll chat with you later.